From the amateur circuits of France to the grandest stage of the Call of Duty League, one name resonates with explosive skill and aggression, and that's HyDra, the French Phenom. HyDra has carved a path for himself through championships and an unwavering drive. His journey, marked by early promise, MVP triumphs, and intense rivalries, has captivated fans, and he now finds himself as a core member of the LA Thieves. So let's take a look at his rise in competitive Call of Duty. HyDra's competitive journey began not under the bright lights of the CDL, but in the local scenes of France. He first picked up Call of Duty with Advanced Warfare at around age 13, initially playing on his Xbox 360 with no expectation of turning pro. His competitive spark ignited during Black Ops 3, where at just 14 years old, he started competing at local French LAN tournaments. It was here that he first tasted success, winning his first LAN event at the end of the Black Ops 3 cycle and became the MVP of that event, an early sign of the dominance to come. Recognition within the French community grew rapidly. During Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and World War II, he was named the most promising French player of 2017, a title given by the community itself. This period saw him hone his skills across several French and European amateur teams, grinding through the regional circuit. His early team history includes stints with Overtime Esports, Supremacy Academy, Red World Hope, and Monaco Academy between late 2016 to late 2018. This consistent competition laid the groundwork for his future pro career, building experience against the best players in his region. He was successful throughout World War II, winning nearly every event, and found similar results throughout Black Ops 4. He crossed paths with pro players like Abizi back in the day and played against him, but didn't know much about the pro scene. He just enjoyed grinding the game and competing at a high level. He said, "I realized I could be really good when I was playing World War II and was named the most promising French player of 2017. All of this led to him joining Call of Duty Challengers when the Call of Duty League was announced. The Modern Warfare season marked a significant step up, competing in the Challenger circuit, the official path to pro. He joined Trainhard Esports from February to August 2020, and while playing for Trainhard, HyDra consistently found himself near the top of the European amateur scene. The team secured multiple second place finishes in EU Challengers Cups and events tied to the CDL Home Series weekends. Their run culminated in a respectable 7th to 8th place finish at the Call of Duty Challengers 2020 finals. Clayster noticed HyDra in the Challenger scene and made it known through a tweet that took HyDra by surprise. He even foreshadowed a world championship in his future, saying, "Another pro asked me who I thought the best AM was, and I said HyDra. They didn't even know who I was talking about. People don't even know talent. Heard he doesn't speak much English though." And that was one hurdle that was preventing HyDra from breaking through to the pro scene, and that was the language barrier. HyDra didn't speak or understand English very well, and every team in the CDL is primarily English speaking. But one thing was certain, HyDra's in-game skill was unquestioned, and he quickly became one of the best players in the challenger scene. Even a seemingly logical fit, the talented French player potentially joining the Paris Legion franchise failed to materialize. They missed the chance to sign him, but he was starting to get the recognition he needed in challengers and was dominating the amateur scene. This finally led to the Cold War season, where HyDra got his first real opportunity to become a pro. The crucial opportunity arrived in late 2020 when HyDra received DMs from both Clayster and Zuma with the New York Subliners. Clayster had been tracking HyDra's progress. When Clayster joined NYSL, his initial plan for the Black Ops Cold War season included HyDra alongside himself, Zuma, and Mac. And based on Clayster's recommendation, NYSL listened to the world champ and moved quickly on the young Frenchman. On October 9th, 2020, HyDra officially joined NYSL and became a Call of Duty pro. However, HyDra's entry into the league was immediately complicated by visa issues, a major hurdle preventing him from traveling to the United States for the Cold War season. Compounded by the pandemic and travel restrictions, the timeline for resolving this was uncertain. ASIM filled his spot on the main roster, and this delay sucked for HyDra because he had to navigate his rookie season separated from his team and facing language barriers. His main focus was to learn from Clayster and improve his English to become a better teammate, so that's what he worked on throughout the Cold War season. HyDra finally debuted on the main NYSL roster on April 24th, 2021. His impact was immediate.
Nobody on the objective, and through comes HyDra. HyDra!
NYSL had struggled early in the season, but HyDra brought a much-needed injection of raw skill and aggression. His coach, Revan, described his playstyle, saying, "HyDra brings a ton of raw skill to our team. With this fast playstyle, he brings a lot of pressure onto the map. He's always in your face. HyDra puts himself in a lot of situations where his gun skill can shine through. This slaying power helped elevate the team, culminating in a remarkable run to the grand finals of the Stage 3 Major, where they finished second after a hard-fought series against Atlanta FaZe. Although he initially downplayed the impact of playing away from the team without the office setup, saying he didn't even know that was a thing in his first year, his ability to perform under that condition highlighted his talent and resilience.
Takes down 2. HyDra, meanwhile, will escape with his life, and it's going to all be down onto him. Takes down Assault from range. It is the headshot coming in from the Frenchman, and Silly, he wants no business with this. Tries to go ahead and bend on down. Cannot get the defuse in successfully, but how about HyDra?
His rookie season performance earned him recognition as a number 10 player in the Breaking Point top 20 rankings for 2021. And that all led to the Vanguard season, which would be his most challenging season yet. The Vanguard season in 2022 was a tumultuous time for the NYSL roster. The Subliners roster featured HyDra alongside veterans Crimsix, Alex, and Clayster, who eventually got benched following a poor start to the season. The team endured dreadful starts to the multiple stages, including poor placements at Major 1, 2, and 3. Behind the scenes, the team dynamics were reportedly fracturing. Accounts from the postseason discussions painted a picture of deep-seated conflict. Crimsix accused team management, specifically Coach D-Real, of showing favoritism towards HyDra, suggesting that HyDra sometimes lacked effort in practice, but avoided criticism directed at other teammates. So naturally, trust eroded inside the team following another incident on Discord just before Champs Weekend, where HyDra expressed intense dislike for his teammates. More issues came from comments Crimsix made about HyDra and his heritage, and this added to further turmoil to the team. As you can see, there was a lot of clashing going on inside the team. They had beef and things were not looking good. Yet amidst the chaos, the team found unexpected success. The turning point came at the Call of Duty League 2022 Pro-Am Classic in May, and against all odds, NYSL battled through the tournament, defeating the LA Thieves 3-1 in the grand finals to win $100,000. HyDra's individual brilliance was shining through the dysfunction, earning him the MVP award for the tournament. It boosted the team's morale and showcased the roster's potential. This momentum carried into the latter half of the season. NYSL made an improbable run to the grand finals of Stage 4 Major, narrowly losing to LA Thieves.
Eventually handled, but you still got the SMGs. They're still roaming. They're still here. HyDra with 2 and Kismet with the 3rd. Nobody still left around the point. They are still capturing this. The time is still halted. Conversation on how we want to try to break this, right? They've got the spawns also. Do we want to go for time? Do we want to try to go for these long rotations? HyDra hungry for 3!
Securing enough points to qualify for COD Champs. However, the underlying issues continued to resurface, and the team finished top 6 at Champs.
P3 also is something you have to consider, but London have to consider winning a gunfight at some stage here. HyDra skating around inside of P2. Crimsix will help him out. Still time towards New York.
New York have stacked this heavy as well. Every single way they go, there are just bodies ready to cut them down, and London can't find anything. New York are just getting gunned. There's HyDra now on a 4 streak, and they have clipped the spawns as well. New York are playing perfect hardpoint.
A disastrous start though for the side of London. Nothing has went their way so far. Spawning towards Dock side. Paul on a 5 spree. HyDra on 5 spree of his own. Can he keep this one going? 2 more for the glide bomb. Can he manage to lock this one in? There's number 2 and not there.
Eliminated by Optic Texas. HyDra's talent remained undeniable, earning him a spot on the CDL's second All-Star team for the 2022 season. And the Vanguard season became a major chapter for him, proof that HyDra could perform at an elite level, even in a fractured team.
So honestly, Paco, good luck in the future. You're dead to me. Dude, you gotta find your heart and soul, dude, because you're the coldest mother team with in a while.
But also an illustration of how internal conflict ultimately capped the ceiling of this team. Obviously, they weren't going to stay together for the Vanguard season, and they all had a crash out session on the flank, and they went their separate ways. But HyDra and Kismet stayed on NYSL for the season that would ultimately change their lives. The Modern Warfare 2 season in 2023 marked HyDra's remarkable rise to the pinnacle of Call of Duty. With a revamped NYSL roster, now with HyDra HyDra, Kismet, Skies, and Priesta, the team set out to what would become a historic campaign. The dominance began immediately. At the first event of the season, Major 1 in Raleigh, NYSL stormed through the competition, defeating the Seattle Surge 4-1 in the grand finals. HyDra and his teammates showcased incredible composure despite being ranked low at the beginning of the season by the community, while the team experienced some mid-season fluctuations, finishing top 8 at Major 2, top 12 at Major 3.
They're getting closer and closer to that 250-point mark, but HyDra, my name is Mako, he strikes again, he finds 3.
Having an answer, and he's going to need another one, but you can guarantee that he's going to have himself a moment. Now on 5 in a row, 1 away from the cruise. However, a few players have started to make their way.
And 4th at Major 4.
Hold.
Yeah. P1 on me. I'm watching. I have a trophy. No, they have a trophy. I gotta get it, Hilbert. I'm waiting for nades.
One's orange, guys. Good 2 S1 on top PD, guys.
That's what defense one, guys. S1 crossing B1, absolutely.
Nice.
Oh my god. No,
They were building towards an unforgettable conclusion. The resurgence arrived at Major 5, and in a thrilling grand finals against Atlanta FaZe, NYSL clutched up in a nail-biting Game 7, winning the series 4-3.
It's only going to be HyDra. He's in a position to win the game. I think he's going to see him, and down he gets gunned. Somebody has to fuse. Somebody has to overwatch his Phenom. Has done it again. A 1 versus 3.
HyDra's performance was instrumental throughout the event, earning him the Major 5 MVP award, and this victory was just weeks before the World Championship, showing that NYSL was peaking at the perfect time. So the climax of the season unfolded at 2023 COD Champs. NYSL entered Champs as a favorite and delivered one of the most dominant performances in history.
2 players for now. Slow and steady. HyDra, though. Oh my god, he cleans a first. Oh, the Phenom! That's your regular season MVP. Just took a PP over those boys. That is the best player in the game for good reason.
They marched through the bracket to the grand final, where they faced Toronto Ultra, achieving a 5-0 historic sweep against Toronto Ultra in Scrap, completing the series in record time to become world champions. HyDra was crowned the Call of Duty League 2023 regular season MVP, acknowledging that he was the best player in the game, and he also was named to the 2023 Team of the Year. Statistically, his season is arguably one of the best individual campaigns in CDL history, and the positive team environment that he was put into, along with a strong coaching staff, provided the foundation for both HyDra's MVP performance and the team's ultimate success. HyDra had transitioned from just a skilled slayer into a true championship cornerstone. In November 2023, he even was awarded the Esports Controller Player of the Year and had this to say.
I want to thank my mom first, because she's been supporting me for 5 years since I started competing and all that stuff. So I want to thank all my team, my coaches, and everybody who supporting me, the fans and all that stuff. Yeah, thank you everybody.
Entering into the Modern Warfare 3 season in 2024, HyDra and the NYSL roster faced a monumental task, defending their world championship. The goal was to achieve something unprecedented in Call of Duty Esports, winning back-to-back rings, and the core remained with Sib joining in place of Priesta. The season began slowly with a top 12 finish at Major 1. However, the team steadily improved, securing a 3rd place finish at Major 2, a 4th place finish at Major 3, proving that they were still contenders.
As that sort starts to dissipate, now he's going to start the plan.
Yeah, able to get the angle, though, with the help from his teammates. Actually,
What is this? HyDra from Mars! Start the retake. He has nothing left, but he's got the Renetti. That's all he needs. 1v3 for Cell.
He's already got 1v3 in the backpack. They're not happening this time.
Has made this team world champions at times, and there we go. Right from
They bounced back at Major 4, being the only top 4 team not to win an event, and delivered a dominant performance, culminating in a 4-2 victory over Atlanta FaZe in the grand finals. HyDra was once again instrumental, earning the Major 4 MVP and adding more championships to his resume. This major victory propelled them into a COD Champs 2024 with significant momentum. They successfully navigated the bracket to the grand finals for the 2nd consecutive year, setting up a showdown with Optic Texas.
And a first blood about to fall on his lap. He has tied the record on the main stage. HyDra, a godlike player. Brett, give it to him. He needs one more for the ace. And it may fall into his lap, as every other kill has. Nobody does it better.
But Optic Texas had the home crowd behind them, and NYSL fell short, losing the series 1-5, failing to reach back-to-back titles. But HyDra maintained his status as one of the world's best players, and even earned the #2 player overall by breaking point. His statistics remained elite. He had a 1.14 overall KD, a league-leading 89.5 Slayer rating, and led the league in damage and hardpoint. His consistent impact earned him another selection to CDL Team of the Year. NYSL would then become Cloud9, and after a disappointing finish at the Esports World Cup, HyDra was offered a new deal that he could not turn down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
So for the Black Ops 6 season, HyDra signed to LA Thieves alongside Scrap, Envoy, and Ghosty, quickly being named the next super team in the Call of Duty League. Now HyDra is still writing a story of his incredible career and is already finding his footing on the Thieves roster, creating some memorable plays like this.
An unaccountable variable we have here on the roll, and that's a problem. Difficult to hold on. HyDra, that's... Do find the pick with this. That's a big nade. It's going to disrupt them at least. HyDra through the door. And the second one, can he find it? Yes, he can. 1v2. Sending it. On the run. Insight's gone. Left, right. Which way's he gone? HyDra is juked in. Wow, what a play! The Phenom cracks a smile and defuses.
Expectations skyrocket instantly, especially with Nade Shot amplifying the pressure on them. The move marked the end of HyDra's tenure with the New York organization and the beginning of a high-pressure chapter under the LA Thieves banner. At the Stage 1 Major, they fought their way to the Grand Final in an epic Game 7 Round 11 showdown against Atlanta FaZe. Honestly, one of the best Grand Finals that I've watched in the CDL, but they lost and ended this event in second place. HyDra underperformed by his standards during the first event, particularly struggling in Search and Destroy, but despite this, the team's ability to push the eventual champs to their limit hinted at their potential. Stage 2 saw LA Thieves hit their stride during the online qualifiers with a perfect 7-0 record, and their online performance translated into a victory at the Stage 2 Minor, where they defeated Vancouver Surge in another 4-3 final. At Major 2 on LAN just a few weeks ago, it proved to be disappointing. LAT finished 4th place, suffering a loss to Boston Breach and Toronto Ultra, and as a result was viewed as a failure given their qualifier dominance and immense talent. They still have a long way to go, but HyDra is proving to be a dominant force in the league and is getting better with each series in this game. His tenure with the New York Subliners culminated in reaching the pinnacle of the esport, a commanding world championship victory and regular season MVP award, solidifying his position in Call of Duty history. Now dressed in the black and red of the Los Angeles Thieves, HyDra faces a new set of challenges and expectations. As a vital member of the roster designed for immediate success in BO6, the pressure to secure championships is at an all-time high. But the French Phenom's story continues, and the league watches closely as he pursues more championships. So that's the story of HyDra's rise through Call of Duty Esports, and it's honestly pretty crazy to see how he came from small French LAN events to now being one of the best players in the league, and we'll see if he can continue his success as the CDL continues. If you guys enjoyed this video, check out my recent video where I talk about aBeZy's rise in Call of Duty Esports. If you enjoyed this one, you gotta check that one out. But with that said, I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace.